The Italian that created Rome's famous modern sculpture of St. John Paul II has finished a new project, but this time it's an exhibit on St. John of the Cross. It's here in Rome's chapel of San Pietro in Montorio.
The idea of the show was to focalize the one special moment of the thinking of San Juan de la Cruz, and through the La Via Oscura, La Notte Oscura, in suggested in three different ways. And in fact, I had in this show, I produced for this show three different sculpture with the three different material, one in lead, one in glass, and one in marble. And the three ways he suggested was the way of the purification, of the illumination, and the purgative way. The three steps of the thinking of San Juan de la Cruz.
Like other Catholic artists, one of the aims of his masterpieces is that of changing people's hearts and minds. In fact, it's a way of evangelizing.
My personal intention was to suggest a different approach to life, following the thinking of San Juan de la Cruz, because it's a very special and unusual suggestion and a completely different thinking in respect to the usually feeling of the human people.
The exhibit is titled Nada y Todo, or Nothing and Everything.
It's a complex thinking, and looks like a little crazy, but in the reality it's very concrete, very real. San Juan de la Cruz suggests if you want to have anything, you must not desire not anything. And something like this, it looks like paradoxal, no? And it's important to understand to reflect very deep in this thinking, otherwise it looks like crazy.
The artist studied St. John of the Cross years ago. He says this project was a chance for him to rediscover the Spanish saint.
I think he's the most revolutionary, mystical person of the Christianity, and not. And is out of any kind of traditional way. And he's a big poet also. He's the most big poet of the 17th centuries, Spanish 17th centuries. And also I like because he's in the middle of the thinking of Occidental and Oriental. He works on the empty. His theological thinking is different to the Occidental approach. Works of the empty and not on the full, like the typical philosophy from West.
St. John of the Cross, born in 1542, was a discalced Carmelite who reformed the Carmelites alongside St. Teresa of Avila. He taught that the fastest way to God happens in times of great suffering and through detachment of all things.